Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Now, when most people join the community of their new favorite game, they assume that everyone there, just like them, is all wholesome and wants to follow the rules and just in general make the community a better place, with some obvious game exceptions. But basically all communities, even games like Geoguessr, do have a dark side. People who are scammers, cheaters, or just generally make the community an unsafe place. And Geoguessr is no different from this. There are plenty of people who use bots to get scores that are literally not possible, people who use alternate accounts to get high scores on daily challenges, or what I'm going to be discussing in this video,
lies and deceit.
Specifically, a Geoguessr player by the name of Obama, who posted a video to YouTube claiming to have beaten a world record, specifically the NMPZ 25K speedrun on an urban world, with a time of 2 minutes and 50 seconds, which would be an amazing score. That is, if it was legit, which it isn't. There are two very suspicious things that happen before he even starts the first round of the game. The first one of those being how he introduces the speedrun and his video. He introduces it in a very casual manner, acting like he's just sitting down for the first time to try to record this and get the speedrun. Speedrunners usually spend hundreds of times trying to get their speedrun, and would never sit down to record it with commentary because the chance of getting it that one time is just too low. The second suspicious thing that happens is how he introduces the old speedrun record that he's trying to beat. Listen to how he stutters when he says the time.
Hey guys, today we'll be attempting to break the current world record at no moving, panning or zooming on the map An Urban World. So the current world record is 5 minutes and 49 seconds, held by James Muhammad Lee.
Instead of saying it correctly the first time, he stutters and says 2 minutes something instead of the actual record, which is the time he claims to have gotten, making me think that he recorded the voiceover after he had recorded the actual record. When he starts the actual round, there are a number of things that point to how he is cheating. The first being that despite there actually being an in-game option for no panning, moving, or zooming, he doesn't have that enabled and can clearly move as shown by the arrows on his screen. The other suspicious thing that happens right after he starts the round is that he actually moves his mouse out of the screen, possibly to check another page, or, more likely, so you wouldn't notice a cut in the editing. We can also see that the timer he's using to show the speedrun shows up on the exact frame that the round starts, and not when the panorama fails to load before, meaning that the timer was put in afterwards, but we'll come back to the implications of that later. However, the worst part of this fake speedrun is the commentary that goes with it, and it only gets worse as the video progresses.
Italy seems to be Sicilia, at least. Looks coastal, judging by the buildings and architecture. Not sure if it's Palermo. Let's see, it could be something like Trapito. Or maybe San Vito. Nah. I mean, it's gotta be Palermo.
With the clues he is given, he first deducts that he is in Italy, and then in Palermo. And this is not at all incredible, given that he's in an urban world. But the speed that he does it is inhuman, taking almost half a second before he blurts out the country name. We can also see that when he zooms in to pinpoint the location, his mouse just seems to know exactly where it is. This, along with his inhuman reflexes, is not only limited to this round, but appears in all 5 rounds. However, the next round is where his commentary really goes off the deep end.
Oh wow, I've been here. It's in Novo Mesto in Slovenia. I was there visiting my aunt. She died. I think it's around there. Perfect.
If it wasn't obvious, what he's saying right here is completely baloney. The story that he's saying is almost certainly completely made up and is no more than a ploy used to justify a perfect round in under 15 seconds. However, nothing that he says in the video even comes close to what he does next. Because I don't care how good of a Geoguessr player you are, you cannot look at a blank brick wall and call the round obvious.
Okay, so this one's pretty obvious. This one is in Ghent, close to the Lebanese supermarket on Brugge Sportsstraat. I think it's around here somewhere, maybe. Yeah, seems about right. Ah, okay, close enough. At least we got to 5k. I think I drove past this building when I was in Houston, going downtown to my friend Michael's place. I think I may have seen a building that looked exactly like this one. Oh, here it is. Wow, didn't expect that. Let me double check. Yep, 5k.
Now there's a lot to unpack here with this 4th round. The first thing being that he's still moving his mouse off screen at the beginning of every round. Not only that, but you can actually see the poorly made edit. We can also see some aspects of the 1st and 2nd rounds here as well, such as a made-up story to justify him instantly knowing the location, this time claiming that his friend Michael lives in the area and that he visited him, as well as a mouse that just happens to know exactly where to zoom. This round is also interesting because despite the compass clearly showing that he's on the north side of the building, he guesses the south side. And whether this was done to show that he isn't cheating, or if it was just a genuine mistake, I don't know. There's also no way he could have known what the building looked like from the map view, so there was no way to find a correlation between what he saw on the screen and what was on the map. And with that, he hops into the final round.
Well, so far so good. Okay, so the sun is in north, so it's gotta be Christchurch, New Zealand. It looks very central, so maybe around the Botanic Gardens.
Again, while knowing this is Christchurch isn't exactly insane, the speed at which he realizes it and how he just randomly zooms into the exact location is simply not possible. And remember what I said earlier about the timer starting exactly on the 1st frame? Well, now it becomes relevant.
Around here, maybe. I think. Yeah, that looks perfect. Great. Okay, so we did it. That's a new world record. I didn't expect to get 249, that's very good.
Like in the beginning, the timer ends on the exact frame, further proving that it was added afterwards in the editing. This begs the question, how does he know his time then? It's possible that he was running a timer of his own, but this really just proves that the commentary was added afterwards, same as the timer. So this is what happened, I think. He played a regular game on an urban world and got a perfect score, then edited it to look like Speedrun and put his voice and the timer over the footage in the editing, which would all make sense. Now, here you might think this would be a great time to go and confront the guy for cheating, blah blah blah. But, in this world where there's already so much anger and fighting, maybe it's time to take a step back and wonder if we have this all wrong.
Maybe he has been to Slovenia and Belgium and Houston. Maybe there were some glitches in the video and audio that made it look weird, and maybe he just forgot to turn on the NMPZ on Geoguessr, and moving his mouse off screen is just a habit. Maybe this run really was legit after all. So it's a good thing we have his results screen to disprove that. This was his actual run. Almost 16 minutes, and certainly with moving. So with this proof, many members of the GeoGuessr community confronted him about this, which leads us to arguably the most disturbing part of the video, the YouTube comment section. Of course, all the names are covered up to protect people's identity. But at this point, you may be asking, but with these horrible edits, this has to be a joke, right? And you've absolutely hit the bollard on the head with that assumption. Because it is. This is pretty much proved by the comment section. Trusted members of the GeoGuessr community called him out for his fake speedruns and were met with rhetorical and trolly comments from him and his alternate accounts. They were really rude, and it was pretty disturbing to read as a member of the community. This guy also buried the criticism under a ton of spam comments left by him and his alts. So in the end, he wasn't actually trying to fake a speedrun, but was just being an asshole. Honestly, I don't know why this video was made or posted, or the story behind the channel and its alt accounts, and that's probably going to stay a mystery. I used this video as an example of cheating because it was a troll and wasn't very controversial. However, there have been much more serious and controversial cases of cheating in GeoGuessr, such as the ban on Pro Player 90, but the message remains the same. Don't cheat. Seriously, it's not cool, and in the end, the only person you really end up cheating is yourself. But even more important than that is to just be nice. Be a positive part of the community and respect everyone to help make it a better place. And if you really, really need to be an asshole, at the very least, do it somewhere else.